It's been a long day making nukes today, but while I'm here this evening in the my Hamden yard, I wanted to check out on a couple of the hives that I boosted about 10 days ago. Now, if you recall, to boost the hive, I had hives that had maybe two half frames of brood facing each other and maybe a frame or two frames of bees. So these colonies were very small, but they had a really good shaped little brood nest there, just not enough bees to look after it. So I did some in this yard, some in another yard, where I put them above a queen excluder and a sheet of newspaper in order for the bees to gradually get used to each other, and the strong hives, which had surplus energy, could move some of their bees up into that smaller colony and boost it, and we can see what the queen can do with those extra bees. So now it's been about 10 days. I've got two colonies here that I boosted that way. Let's have a look and see how well that queen that had a tiny little brood chamber is doing now. So this colony's got the newspaper there. It's been together for about 10 days. And first of all, how many bees are up here? More than one or two frames of bees, let's say. So in 10 days, they've gone from one or two frames of bees to 6 or 7 frames of bees here. Bit of honey on this side. The bees are going to be a little less good-natured today. I should probably use a bit of smoke, because, in fact, why don't we use some smoke? I'll just go and get that smoker lit. Working from the side, there's lots of honey and relatively few bees. Empty that. Honey here, all honey. Still honey. There's pollen and fresh nectar in. How's that for an improvement in the brood chamber? Frame full of capped brood. Even more completely sealed in that area, with eggs going right out to the edge. So the queen is really starting to expand that brood chamber. Another full frame of brood. This is where the original cluster was. These bees have emerged, but she's got all of this area filled up with brood. And eggs on this side. More eggs and larvae on this side. And that's where we're about at the moment. There's not much on this side. So we've got 3 frames of brood in there, 2 capped frames of brood. So it's going along very nicely. Not bad for 10 days. I'll move this frame of honey on this side. We've got too many on one side. Get it more balanced. So we've gone from less than half a frame of brood to 2 full, maybe 3 frames of brood in here now. Good improvement of 10 days. And we'll just have a quick look underneath. We'll see what they've done to the newspaper. You can see that they've eaten away the newspaper for 1, 2, 3 seams there, and they're starting here and here as well. So you can see the newspaper's been chewed away nicely. And we have one colony, well, 2 colonies sharing the same resource of bees. Let's go and have a look at another one that we did. Again, sheet of newspaper there. No smoke in the entrance. Again, we only had about 1 frame of brood. The good thing about working the bees right now is the wind is down to nothing. Isn't that a nice change? Well, this queen has certainly got some company up here now. Storing resources up here, pollen and nectar. Edge of the brood chamber here now, full of pollen, some capped brood. This is about the size that the cluster was before. And that's nice. Expanding nicely, occupies about 2/3 of the frame, with eggs going right out to the edge of the honey here. So cap brood here and eggs right around them. And on this side, lots of pollen. Look at all that brood. Quite a growth from what we had before. If you're thinking about it, it was just a bit over 10 days. It was more like 12 days ago. And we're on the other edge of the brood chamber here now, with pollen and resources here. So don't need to see the queen to know that things are really moving along nicely. We actually have eggs on this side as well, so it's growing beyond those 3 frames of brood. Certainly have the bees to cope with it. Very nice. So that's how you boost a small overwintered colony that still had a good queen, good laying pattern, but just didn't have enough bees to expand it. This way we virtually quadrupled the amount of brood we had in the space of less than 2 weeks by putting that sheet of newspaper. We'll have a look at that newspaper now. And they've eaten the vast majority of that newspaper out now. Very nice. And we've taken some of the surplus energy out of the colony below, so they didn't get so crowded that they feel like they need to swarm. Because I'm rushing around like a crazy thing trying to keep pace with all these colonies. I've got queen cells in dozens of small colonies, colonies in one super that I just haven't been able to get to in time. So still rushing around trying to get all my splits done. But so far doing pretty well. But that's how you boost a small colony with the help of the surplus energy in a larger colony. I hope you found that useful. You should definitely try that. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.